Please let nothing distract you, because we will also be doing some calculations in this part 15 of our physics questions, the physics preparation expo questions we are giving you. Question number 1, this one doesn't involve calculation, but I need you to pay attention. Remove every form of distraction. The slope of the straight line displacement time graph indicates dash. The slope, if you have seen straight line displacement time graph, indicates dash. A, distance traveled. B, uniform velocity. C, uniform acceleration. D, uniform speed. The slope of the straight line displacement time graph indicates dash. A, distance traveled. B, uniform velocity. C, uniform acceleration. D, uniform speed. Of course, the answer is what? Uniform velocity. The answer is B. And uniform velocity is always change in speed divided by change in time. Remember, I have an assignment for you. Sorry that I'm starting this part 15 with an assignment, but it's very crucial. I want you to come under the comment, because JAMB is always asking this question. Tell me the difference between velocity, acceleration, and displacement. Velocity, acceleration, and displacement. Okay, let's move on. What you are watching is our physics review questions part 15. A man will exert the greatest pressure when he dash. A man will exert greatest pressure when he dash. A, lies flat on his back. B, lies on his belly. C, stands on both feet. D, stands on the toes of 1 foot. A man will exert the greatest pressure when he dash. Lies flat on his back. B, lies on his belly. C, stands on both feet. D, stands on the toes of 1 foot. The answer is D, stands on the toes of 1 foot. Remember, these things I'm giving you, just note it and don't trivialize it. That is why I said watch this video without any distraction. What you are watching is not Nollywood film. This is not Nollywood. This is not football you are watching. This is not sports. This is something connected to your destiny. So give it maximum attention. Question number 3. Which of the following physical quantities units are derived? You know we have derived units, we have fundamental unit and derived unit. I hope you know. And those derived units are gotten from the fundamental units, okay? So which of the following physical quantities are derived? A, area. B, thrust. C, pressure. I, then IV, mass. We have I, area. I, thrust. I, pressure. IV, mass. Then they give you questions. Is it I, IV? Then they give you, is it I, and I? Is it I, and IV? Or is it I and IV only? The answer is B. And B is I, and I. It means that area is a derived quantity, thrust is a derived quantity, pressure is a derived quantity, but mass is a fundamental quantity. Mass is not derived. I hope you are following. Remember that what you are watching now is part 15. If I were you, I will ask for the link to all the videos we started doing from part 1. We did from part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, part 6, part 8, all of them till now we are in part 15. After part 15, we also did 16, 17, and all the rest. So if you want to get all of them, if you want me to give you access to all the videos we've done on physics for JAMB exam, this very coming JAMB, just what you have to do is to be a member of our YouTube channel. If you are not yet a member, be a member. Once you're a member, ask me in the comment section, say, sir, please give me all the videos you have on physics. Say, sir, please give me access or the link to all the videos you have done in physics, and I will give them to you. Now look at this question 4. It's a calculation. A ball of mass 0.5 kg moving at 10 meters per second collide with another ball of mass of equal mass at rest. That means their mass is both 0.5 kg, 0.5 kg. If the two balls move off together after the impact, calculate their common velocity. So I'm looking at common velocity. Look, we have mass 1. Look at the question again. Okay. There is the mass is mass 1 and mass 2 is 0.1, 0.5 kg, right? Mass 1 is 0.5 kg. This velocity is 10 meter. That is for the first one, for the first mass, for the first object. Then for the second one is the second one is 0.5 kg, the same thing. Then the other one is 0. So in this calculation, I believe you can look at it very well. You can see it very well, very well, very well in the screen, okay? I believe you can look at it very well. Let me increase it so that you see how we were able to solve it for you. Okay, have you seen it? You can pause and look at it very well. Let's look at the question again. A ball of mass 0.5 kg moving at 10 meters per second collide with another ball of equal mass at equal mass. That means they have 0.5 kg, 0.5 kg. If the two balls move off together after the impact, calculate their common velocity. Okay. Now look at question number 5. The motion of a body is simple harmonic if the dash. The motion of a body is simple harmonic. Remember, I told you one of the topics to read up is simple harmonic motion. I've always said it. One of the topics you must be grounded in is simple harmonic motion. If you watch this video to the end, I can give you free syllables in physics, free past question in physics, and the other 4 subjects. The other subjects will be writing, okay? The motion of a body is simple harmonic if the dash A, acceleration is always directed towards a fixed point. B, path of motion is a straight line. C, acceleration is proportional to the square of the distance from a fixed point. D, acceleration is constant and directed towards a fixed point. The answer, without wasting time, is A. Acceleration is always directed towards a fixed point. In mechanics and physics, simple harmonic motion is a special type of periodic motion where the restoring force on the moving object is directly proportional to the magnitude of the object's displacement and acts towards its object equilibrium position. I want you to take this thing slowly. Okay, that's why I left it on the screen for you for some time. Read it out. Simple harmonic motion is a special type of periodic motion where the restoring force on the moving object is directly proportional to the magnitude of the object displacement and acts towards the object's equilibrium position. We move on. Which of the following is not correct about the molecules of a substance in gaseous state? Which of these is not? That means all that 3 are correct and 1 is not correct. That one that is not correct should be your answer. Which of the following is not correct about the molecules of a substance in a gaseous state? They A, are in a constant state of motion. B, have different speed. C, have a temperature which is measured by the average kinetic energy. D, the collision between the gases is perfectly inelastic. The answer, like you can see, I've put it here for you, is D. The collision between the gases is perfectly inelastic. All collision between gas molecules is perfectly elastic. All kinetic energy is conserved. When cars collide, energy is lost to bending bumpers and metals. Molecules do not act like this. Instead, they act like billiard balls. I want to believe you are taking notes. So remember, like you said, the collision between gases is perfectly elastic, not inelastic. That's why the answer is D. Are you following? Why am I putting so much effort in giving you videos every day? I am putting this effort because I believe that nothing will stop you from getting admission this year. I want you to claim it in the comment section. Nothing will stop you from entering school, your preferred school, not any kind of school, your first choice school. You will get it this year. Nothing will stop you from scoring 300 and above in this JAMB. Do you even believe it? Are you really sure that you believe it? That this year you will score 300 and above? I don't know if you are writing JAMB for the first time or the second or third time. No matter whether you are writing first or you are repeating JAMB, this year you will score 300 and above. This year is your year to gain admission. You claim it in the comment section. Okay, let's look at this question. A given mass of gas has a pressure of 80 at a temperature of 47 degrees, centigrade. If the temperature is reduced to 27 centigrade with volume remaining constant, the new pressure is dash. The pressure was 80 and the pressure 1 is 80. Temperature T1 is 47. Then the pressure T2 became 27. If the volume is constant, what will the P2 remain? You remember your gas laws, but look at this. P1 over T1 equals to P2 over T2. P1 is 80. T2, of course, you do 47 plus 273. That is converting to Kelvin, right? I've taught you that in a previous video. Then T2 will now be 27 plus 273, 300. Then P2, you just substitute, right? P2 will be equal to P1 T2 over. You already know. And when you solve, you get 75, right? The pressure, the second pressure is 75. The answer is B. Do you understand? Who can tell me this law? P1 over T1 equals to P2 over T2. Who stated this law? Is it Charles' law? Is it Bohr's law? Is it Avogadro's law? Just tell me the gas law that is stated P1 over T1 equals to P2 over T2. This is something you should have. These gas laws, you should have them at your fingertips. You should have the gas laws at your fingertips. They are so crucial. Remember that apart from physics, we have also done a lot of videos on use of English, chemistry, physics, biology, economics, government, literature. If you want me to give you access to all the videos I've done on those your four subjects, just mention them in the comment section. But it is only for full members of our channel. If you have not become a member of our channel, just watch this video to the end and I will tell you how you can become just by clicking a few buttons. Okay, 0.5 kg of water at 10 degrees centigrade is completely converted to ice at 0 degrees centigrade by extracting 88,000 of heat from it. If the specific heat capacity of water is 4,200 joule, you can see it. Calculate the specific latent heat of fusion of ice. Look at the formula here. I hope you can see them. I am finding it difficult to explain because I'm not on the whiteboard. Okay, we'll see the videos where I or my staff will be on the whiteboard explaining, but just look at it slowly as you solve. Now look at this question. Which of the following instruments may be used to measure relative humidity? Which of the following instruments may be used to measure relative humidity? A. Hydrometer. B. Manometer. C. Hygrometer. And D. Hypsometer. When it comes to relative humidity, what are we using? Hydrometer, manometer, hygrometer, and hypsometer. The answer is simple. The answer is C. The answer is C. Hygrometer is an instrument used to measure the amount of water vapor in the air. That is humidity now. In the air, soil and confined spaces. Relative humidity here is a mixture of the amount of water vapor in a water-air mixture compared to the maximum amount possible. Okay, I have an assignment for you. Come under the comment and tell me what hypsometer D, the option D, hypsometer, what is it used for? What is a hypsometer used for? Tell me in the comment section. Okay, we now move on. I hope you are following. By the way, the videos I am dropping for you, are they helpful to you? Are you benefiting? If you are benefiting, if you have a testimony, please let me know. If these videos are helping you in your preparation, please come under the comment and tell me. It will motivate me to give you more videos. Also, if there is any kind of video I've not made that you want me to make, you can also ask me, tell me, mention it, give me that, tell me in the comment section, and I will find time to make it for you. Look at question number 10. Question number 10, okay? A source of sound produces wave in air of wavelength 1.65 meter. If the speed of sound in air is 300 meters square, the period, that is 300 meters per second, the period of vibration in air is dash. V is this over time, right? Wavelength over time. Look at this question very well. I have your V as 330 meter per second. That is your velocity. Then your time, were we given time? Okay, wavelength, we are given 1.65 meter, and we are looking for the T, which is period. So since velocity is wavelength over time, and we have velocity and we have wavelength, it will now be, you make T the subject of the formula, which will now give you that is velocity, which will now give you your wavelength over time, which is 0.005 second. In the option B is the answer to question number 10. I hope you are learning. Are you following? Now we continue. A boy standing some distance from the foot of a tall cliff claps his hand and hears an echo 0.5 seconds later. A boy standing some distance from the foot of a tall cliff claps his hand and hears an echo 0.5 seconds later. If the speed of sound is 340 meters per second, how far is he from the cliff? JAMB like asking this question very well. Now, what we will do in part 16, in the next video, we'll continue from question number 11. But for now, what you have to do is to receive all those materials, all the videos we've done on physics, all the past questions and answers and all the rest. Number one is for you to be a member of our channel, and it is simple. To be a member of our channel, you just click on join. Just click on join and join our YouTube channel. If you want me to send you the link, if you can't find the link, but the link is on our channel, become a member. You become a member once. Click on join, follow the prompt, see it as an investment, something that will benefit you. Click on join and be a member of our channel. Number two is for you to like this video. Just boop the like button. Number three, you have to share this video. Click on share. Share this video to your friends, your classmates. Share it. Copy the link. Share this video on WhatsApp group, Facebook groups, Telegram channels, everywhere. Then finally, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Once you subscribe, come under the comment of this video and type I have subscribed. Come under the comment of this video and type I have subscribed. Remember to submit the assignments I gave you, and if you need me to give you the link to other subjects, also indicate the subject in the comment section. We'll continue in part 16. There is a very, very important video I'm giving you free of charge on the screen. Click on it and watch now.